Hello, welcome back to Happy Heart 1111, the topic which I'm going to discuss in this video that is going to help you with the management of your emotions because nowadays we all know people are having extreme emotions, and due to that their behavior, their decisions, their actions are also extreme. People are killing or murdering their spouse or fiance to get rid of that relationship. People are also murdering their maid because they think the maid is bringing some negative energy to their house. And this person who murdered her was a doctor. And even though he belonged from a noble profession, he was convinced with this idea that the maid servant was bringing some kind of a bad energy and it was affecting his child. So he took this extreme action. There are incidents where people on streets are killing animals without any reason because they are frustrated in their life or they lack human consciousness. We don't know what's the exact reason, but we keep hearing these kinds of news on television or social media that people are doing things which is not expected from a human being. And the reason why this is happening is because I have already discussed that the earth's energy is changing, and it keeps on changing suddenly. Sometimes the frequency is too high, sometimes the frequency becomes moderate, sometimes the frequency goes low. So the body of every human being is going through a lot of sudden changes, or the changes is experienced in the form of emotional turbulence. Also, it is the time of cleansing, that is energetic cleansing, where your suppressed emotions would come to surface, and due to that you would feel very agitated or irritated, and this might lead to an extreme behavior. And due to this, you behave in extreme manner if you don't observe your thoughts, your emotions. You don't sit with yourself and try to understand why those suppressed emotions are suddenly coming to the surface, and how you should handle it, how you should allow it to cleanse away forever, because energy always transforms. It never dies or it is never created. So either you will stay in that low emotion or bad energy, negative energy, and it would increase in such extreme form that you would feel compelled to take extreme actions which you would regret later, or you would understand the reason behind your bad mood or emotion, and you would try to figure out a way where you can make peace with that emotion, with that past life trauma which is triggering you to behave in an extreme manner in the present, where it has nothing to do with your present life. But if you don't manage it properly, you are going to take extreme actions which is going to bring negative consequences for you in the future. So today's topic is about frequencies. And frequency is not about the natural phenomena, that is the solar flare, the earth's electromagnetic field, the weather. Like if there is a thunder lightning also, it also changes the frequency of the earth. And there are other factors also due to which earth's electromagnetic field experiences changes. But today we are talking about the artificial frequencies. We all know that it is a time where humanity can either ascend to a higher consciousness by working on his or her emotions, cleansing the low quality emotions, practicing higher emotions by doing certain techniques, or by shifting their focus towards the brighter side of life, or by working on their internal world where all the turbulence is causing them a lot of pain, and how to handle that pain, it depends on how they manage themselves in that extreme emotion. So whether you are in a low emotion or a high emotion, it is going to multiply manifold, and it would cause you a lot of discomfort, and due to that discomfort you take extreme actions which is going to be regretful in the future if you don't cleanse those bad emotions, if you don't overcome those emotions, and you don't try to understand the reason behind those emotions and successfully try to climb the ladder of higher emotions where you would be increasing or amplifying that emotions, where it not only helps in your ascension but it also helps in the ascension of the planet, because our planet is functioning based on the energy which every living being is radiating in the form of emotions. And therefore emotions play a very important role in this world, and it's our responsibility to manage our emotions, decide how we should behave, what behavior is beneficial for us and for people around us. Now, Earth's electromagnetic field is not only affected by the sun's energy or sun's electromagnetic radiation, but it is also affected by artificial frequencies which are created or which are emitted from mobile towers, from power grids, from all other sources which are man made. And it's very important that since these sources of frequencies which are artificial or man made, it is not under our control, it is under the control of the dark or the deep state, or the people who are trying to control us and bring us down towards the lower emotions so that we don't ascend in this important time where the grand portal is open and we can use it to become free from this world where everything is run by few people and other people are followers, and they are forced to live a miserable or a limited life, because in this way the matrix keeps on functioning. And the main fuel of matrix is our low quality emotions, that is fear, anger, greed, lust, anxiety, inferiority complex, and all kinds of bad emotions which can make you feel miserable and which would bring a very negative and extreme behavior from your side, and it would further create chaos in the earth's electromagnetic frequency, because it's two way. It's not only that the earth's frequency affect us, our collective frequency also affect the earth's electromagnetic field. So we have to be very careful in the current time where the sun's electromagnetic radiation is acting like a catalyst for the energy in this planet in which we are living, and any kind of energy, whether it's in the form of your low quality emotions or high quality emotions, it is going to intensify. And therefore the dark forces, the deep state is trying to keep all of us in a low quality emotions by creating all kinds of artificial frequencies which is affecting all of us at different times, when we suddenly find ourselves to be unmotivated, lost in life. We feel a void inside of us, we feel agitated for no reason, for no reason that has anything to do with our present life, but we just feel almost like we are being controlled energetically with the help of an artificial source of frequency, and that frequency is being created by certain humans or entities who are in the form of humans and don't want the conscious powerful human souls to ascend in this golden time where we have the opportunity to become free from this life of uncertainty, dependency, and limitations. So we need to understand this, that this artificial frequency that is being transmitted in our atmosphere and due to which we feel low at times without any reason is not under our control. But what is in our control is our own consciousness, our own emotions, and our responsibility towards the management of our energy. So we need to be very careful where our attention is, how we are responding. Are we reacting? If we are reacting, then what is the purpose of that reaction? Will it get any positive solutions? Or how we are behaving on a day to day basis, and what is the emotion behind those behaviors? And is that emotion relevant in the present time? Does it make us any better in our life, or is it making us worse and is reducing our well being or welfare? We all know that there was a time that we used to see sparrow, a bird, frequently around us in our neighborhood, but today we hardly see any sparrow. Same is with the fireflies, same is with so many other animal species or bird species or any kind of insect which was earlier easy to find, or you would easily find them around you in your environment or wherever you live. But today you hardly see any of those species. The reason is that those species cannot survive in the frequencies which are artificially transmitted in the atmosphere in which we are living. So they are not there anymore in those areas or those places where the sources of these artificial frequencies, which are hazardous to health of both the animal kingdom as well as the mankind, is being transmitted or is being emitted for this one purpose, that is to keep us emotionally weak or to keep us in a weak energetic condition, and this would reduce our chances of ascending and breaking free from this matrix. Matrix is not some coded technology where everything is like a holographic reality and you find a door to escape out of it. Matrix is a system where everything is programmed or is planted in such a way that every conscious human soul who has emotions or who has the control over their emotions, where we can think rationally and act rationally, and we know how to tune our energies to suit our conditions or situations. We don't just get angry and shout when there is some extreme situation. We consider the fact that in that situation that kind of behavior might not be appropriate or it can bring negative consequences for us. So we decide carefully which emotion is beneficial for us, and even though we feel at times that we need to vent out, we control ourselves. We try to see the broader picture and evaluate the pros and cons of that kind of a behavior. But in the current time, when the solar energy is acting as a catalyst, and that emotion which was earlier easily manageable Now it is felt manifold times. You can be like angry to an extent that you might feel that the only way to get rid of this feeling which is making you uncomfortable is to take revenge, and due to which many people are doing things which are not expected from any normal human being. So we need to be very careful about how we are feeling, and based on that feeling, what is our action, and whether that action is going to benefit us or it is going to bring lot of problems or challenges. So the dark forces are trying hard to keep humans stuck in those animalistic emotions, so that under the influence of these low quality emotions or animalistic emotions, humans take extreme actions, and that creates chaos, problems, and all kinds of misery and negative vibrations in our planet. But we can still handle our emotions if we understand that whatever emotion we are feeling currently can be transformed, can be changed. We can pivot from that negative emotion to a positive emotion by understanding that being a conscious human soul, a powerful soul, a fractal of God, our energies are very significant for the planet in which we are living. And we are not only here to live a life and die one day, but we are also here to bring a change in the way things were done in the past, and bring order and stability and positive changes for us and for this planet, which the dark force doesn't want, because if that change happens, it would lose its control over all the other people whom they are controlling through their different mind programming techniques, whether it's the artificial frequencies, whether it's psychological operations, whether it's media, it's entertainment, or anything which is compelling the sleeping souls which are still not awakened to this reality that they are being controlled. And if they don't wake up even now, they are going to never get that opportunity to break free from this kind of a prisoner's life, where they are dependent on the few people who are running this world and who are self obsessed, who want complete control over this planet and the resources of this planet. So just don't worry about any kind of a bad emotion that you are feeling currently. You have the power. You just need to understand that that emotion is not you. It is just a feeling that can be shifted from a negative one to a positive one by accepting your responsibility towards your own well being first, and then the well being of the collective and this planet, which is our mother. So just be mindful about how you feel. Why are you feeling that way? It's not your fault completely, it's also because of the artificial frequencies which is being transmitted in our environment through various tactics, so that we stay in that dark emotion, animalistic emotion, and we are having that power to break free from that loop of negative emotions which is empowering this dark world. And time has come that we accept our role, responsibility, and our powers as creator, because everything in this world is being created by our consciousness, and collectively we are much powerful than these dark forces or the agents of the dark forces. And if we are determined and we gather courage, we can win this war, which is between the dark and the light. The light is within each soul, conscious soul, and the dark, we all know, who wants to keep the humanity manipulated through divide and rule, whether it's the gender, religious tactics, politics, media, entertainment, food items, or any other kind of psychological operations. But we are much more powerful because we are the fractal of that source, whom we call God, whom we consider as the savior of this planet. But we forget that that savior is each soul who is so powerful that if we come into that understanding and we accept our responsibility towards this whole process of ascension, where we can break free from this prison of control, manipulation, and limitations, we can bring that beautiful reality which already exists, but it would be visible to all of us if we expand our consciousness, because this reality is powered by our emotions and is a reflection of our consciousness. So we need to come to a higher level of consciousness, and we need to practice higher emotions of love, bliss, gratitude, compassion, and every emotion which you can imagine in your God, that God has these emotions, these qualities. Those qualities are present in each human conscious soul, but we need to come into that understanding, accept it, and practice it. So, no matter how many artificial frequencies are being tuned into our environment for dark purposes by the dark forces, we have the power to create those emotions which would help us to break free from this world of dark limitations, manipulations, and pain. So let's accept our responsibility and let's not give our power. That is, let's not create that emotion which is empowering this dark world, because time has come that we need to enter that new reality, that new consciousness, which is going to help us live a fulfilled life, a more beautiful reality, which all of us have been told is possible once you get moksha, nirvana, or salvation. And that salvation or that moksha is actually the creation of that 5D reality. It's not after death. It's possible in this world if we break free from our old patterns, old emotions, old traumas, and upgrade our consciousness so that we can experience that new world which is functioning and operating from a different frequency from the one in which we have lived so far, that is the 3D consciousness or 3D world. So I hope you got the point and you would understand the importance of your emotions and try to practice being in a better quality emotion, and watch your thoughts, watch your actions, so that you don't feel guilty, shameful, and regret it later.